You're killing me, Smalls.
We making movies, no acting in. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS shipping packages. I'm smoking weed out them packages. If I ain't got a gun, I'm stabbing it. I got some leftover lean in the cabinet. I can hit your little hoe when she happy. Poke on that pussy shit like it's a top in it. We making movies, no acting in. I'm fucking Instagram action shit. UPS doing the packaging. I'm smoking good ass weed out them packages. I can't lie, 'cause I ain't capping it.
Welcome back to the DNA podcast. It's your boy D.
It's your boy Antonio. Let's get to it.
We all heard the tragic news of Uvalde Elementary School being shot up. And so I feel like it's our duty to speak on stuff like this because that's what's trending in history and in current culture.
Yeah. I think it would be a disservice for us not to talk about stuff like this when events like this happen.
I feel like it would discredit us as much as we want to talk about controversial and popular topics going on, but then we pick and choose which ones that we dance around. So
I mean, and if we do miss an event like this, it's usually because our schedules are just so fucked up, and by the time we would cover it, it would be like 2 or 3 weeks later, and it's kind of like, now you're just hanging on to the hype and you're trying to drag it out. But
before we start, I would like to give condolences to the family and rest in peace to the children and the 2 teachers that lost their lives that day. But also, why I really want to cover this because it covers a lot of controversial issues in America, just as a whole. Yeah.
The background, the kid was from North Dakota, something like that, originally. His family moved down there. They were poor. He was picked on for how he dressed or whatever, and the motherfucker decided to go shoot up school.
And he went to said school when he was younger. I don't know if this was knowledge then, but right beforehand, he shot his grandmother in the face. And she's in critical condition. No, she's not dead. So I can only assume there's critical condition. And so that was most of the details right then and there. But today, more details came through, and don't forget any that you know, fill me in. So he walked about 10 to 15 minutes with just assault rifles in hand to his location. So, why he was not stopped before he even got there.
Well, it's because Texas is an open carry state.
Jesus.
I mean, North Carolina's an open carry state. We live in an open carry state.
Bro, if I seen a nigga like that, especially the way he was dressed, now I gotta call folks on you. Like, that's just...
But, there's different rules for how, if you live a certain way.
True.
Because, if me and you try to carry an assault rifle down the street,
it's over for us.
Yeah. There's no way the cops are coming to pick us up.
Yep. And so, red flag number 1, but we can get past that. But he hopped the fence at the school. So, red flag number 2 is why wasn't there so much, security or stuff going on around the school. But as I come to find out, there was a resource officer in that building. It was not from a lack of no security. That nigga headed for the hills. He didn't want no parts of a guy. And so that's another red flag. But I'm going to play devil's advocate with that one. He's a resource officer. I never assumed resource officers was really...
A resource officer is a regular cop.
Oh, really?
Yes. That is a cop.
Bro, I always thought that they were below regular cop. I'm not even going to hold you.
They are just cops that work in schools. That is it.
Now I'm giving a nigga no benefit of the doubt. He headed for the hills, which caused him to go on his spree, which gave him more time to go on his spree. So when the cops showed up, they still were hesitant. Parents came to the scene. I can't detail it exactly because, of course, I wasn't there. I'm just going based on the accounts of parents that were there. Parents obviously pissed that the cops are not storming in there to get Buddy. Some police officers started arresting some parents, but while he's still in there...
I think the very important part is that they waited outside for an hour.
Oh, I did not read that part. I didn't know how long this...
It was a whole hour that they were outside while he was killing kids.
Police officers ain't good for shit.
And my thing is like, I think it's a very important point that I heard someone say is like, police officers will kill an unarmed man because they fear for their lives, but they will not kill an armed man because they fear for their lives. So which one is it?
That's my main issue. A parent that was there was so distraught. He was like, "Give me a vest, give me a gun. I'm gonna head in. Don't let me be raw or whatever, bro. If my kid, especially a kid that I know, a kid that one of my friends have and is whatever, bro, I'm not just gonna stand here, bro. Like do something. Like do something.
Yeah.
And it's my biggest pet peeve when it comes to cops. So I guess we'll focus on the cops aspect because I have a lot to say about cops. I'm sick of them always like a whole lot coming out. Y'all aren't doing shit. Like cops come out for overwhelming force. Bro, like y'all could have came from both sides of the school and just condensed. Could have just cornered him and did whatever. Like they literally just stood out front. Like this was a hostage situation, which I guess in a weird way it was a hostage situation.
Yeah.
But he wasn't holding hostages, he was killing kids.
And that's the issue. It's like they first off they knew that he was killing kids. They knew.
Mm-hmm.
At that point you have to start at least to move. If it was just a hostage situation, then I could see how you wouldn't rush in there because you're trying to defuse the situation. The situation's already at 10. Yeah, it's just
I truly have, this is going to go hand in hand. I truly have a problem with the cops are already on the scene and let them get in. And nobody wants to die. And like, I'm not sitting here saying I'm going to go out in a blaze of glory and throw my life away. But letting him get into the school is pretty much checkmate. Like, that's pretty much like game over. We need to prevent him from getting into the school.
Yeah.
You let him in there, then retreated. Like,
so like I know I heard you talk about the resource officer that was on campus or whatever. First I heard the first thing that came out was like, oh, the guy had body armor. That's why the resource officer didn't engage. That came out. That wasn't true. Then it came out like him and the guy had gotten to a altercation outside first, and then he got inside. That's not true. They are like desperately trying to save this man's character, and it's like, bro, he was pussy. Just say it. Like, just say it. No one wants to be, like you said, no one wants to die. No one wants to throw their life away. But this is literally what you signed up for. This is the job that you signed on the dotted line for. You signed up to be a bullet catcher. I hate to say it like that, but that's.
I want to bring up my second point. These officers, 2 on the scene that didn't want to do nothing because they feared for their lives. The resource officer that feared for their lives. 2 teachers lost their lives defending their students. Teachers have more courage than the damn police officers with the weapons.
My thing is, at least it would have been a fair fight for y'all.
I didn't know that he didn't have the armor until you just told me. Who gives a damn? Headshot. Like, how about that? How about you put forth all that stupid ass training, all these gun classes? I don't give a damn if that nigga had damn Batman armor on his chest. Headshot. Like, how about that? Well, especially when y'all, so it was 2 of them. And so I'm going to go on a slight tangent because this pisses me off about cops. Cops only engage when they have the upper hand. I watch these videos with my coworkers at work. He pisses me off because he defends cops to the most. A guy charged at cops with a knife. It was 2 of them. And they both ended up firing on him and doing whatever. He did not need to kill him. Well, he had a knife. You never know what something. If y'all are so pussy that y'all can't disarm a knife, 2 from 1 nigga?
Yeah, but
Cops ain't worth shit. The only thing they can do is shoot a nigga. Hell, in an instance where they need to, they can't even do that. They only are good when they have the upper hand. And so, like, I'm sick of all these excuses of they feared for their lives. I'm sick of, you never know what they could have had. The cops, and it's been documented plenty of times because this is not a one-off incident of a guy having a gun. The cops afraid to go do something.
Typically, if you're white and you have a gun, they're afraid to do something. If you're black, you're dead anyway.
Yeah. So like I'm sick of it. Like I've seen it too many times. And like people go, oh, what if somebody had a knife on you? People have drawn knives on me. I can call my own boy Eric up right now. People have charged at me with knives, and I've dislodged them from them and taken them down. So the excuse of that you don't know what's going to happen is pure pussy, and they're trained. So I'm more trained than a cop. Let me just put it out there like that, then, because it was no gun necessary. Like but that's what cops do. They bring a gun to a knife fight. But when it's a gunfight, they haul ass. And I can understand if this was two people. They couldn't find the second person. I can understand if this was a group of people. They didn't know who it was. I can understand. They knew it was one nigga. They can't even use overwhelming force properly. Like, that's just all they had to. They just had to overwhelm them.
Because at that point, it's what, 3 cops on the scene, right?
And to my point of headshot him, bro, if y'all fire in his direction, he's getting hit somewhere. In the leg, arm, hand, head. If he did have protection, which he did not. So shooting was even more implied that you hit him. It's. But these are the cops. These are the niggas when people try to defend, when we say disband the police. Do you know how chaotic it would be? Shit, it's chaotic wolves, so shit. But my favorite, when I talk about sports, my favorite line is, why would I pay a nigga a lot of money if we lose? I can lose for free. They're like, so why the hell are we paying these cops to do shit, bro? I can be in danger for free. Like,
yeah. So we talked about the cops. Let's pivot to another aspect of this story. So in the aftermath of this going on, the governor of Texas was giving a speech, and basically his opponent, the governor is a Republican, and his opponent is a Democrat. The opponent's name is Beto O'Rourke. You might have heard of him. Mm-hmm. O'Rourke pulled up to the conference and was like, "I'm tired of all the talk, my nigga."
And I respect him.
You have to do some shit.
People were trying to be political about it, and I guess we're about to touch the second issue of gun rights. But like, bro, y'all came here talking about gun rights like niggas just ain't lose their lives. Like innocent children. Y'all came in here trying to defend gun rights before we discussed the kids that lost their lives. Like we see where you automatically think about in a time like this. Like, and I'm with Buddy. I'm glad Buddy went off because there's a time to be civil and it's time. Bro, I'm not about to sit up here for an hour and a half and debate with you about what just happened. Mm-hmm. Like I'm just not.
Yeah, and but a lot of people saying that Beto has their vote now because he pulled up on the ops, and that was black people saying that. But
I wish I thought white people said that.
But so that's. I guess that tells me how you feel about that. I was gonna ask you how do you feel about that? Do you think it was appropriate? Yeah. You told me how you feel about it.
I'm never one, like, I don't care about how stuff is handled. Like, you shouldn't have cussed. Like, that was unprofessional or this or that. My bottom line is the end result. I don't care about how we handled it. I don't care if I went about it the wrong way. I don't care if I hurt feelings doing it. The end result is the end result, bro. This talking is bullshit. Like, and that's just where, and honest to God, like in my soul, I don't even know how much of a discussion there really. I don't even see how people less than 72 hours is still just focused on gun rights. Like, well, we can't do that about like y'all are coming up with a end goal of well, we can't do nothing about gun rights before we come up with a solution of how can we prevent this from happening again?
Yeah, and I mean ultimately. You do not have to take away gun rights completely to just put a damper on the issues that we're dealing with right now. Mm-hmm. All you have to do is do like common sense gun legislation. So it's just like if you are having a psychotic episode in the last 2 years, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to have a gun for a while till you get medically cleared. Mm-hmm. If you know what I'm saying, if someone has ever threatened violence against somebody, maybe you should, not have them have a gun for a while. There's just certain things that you could do to mitigate the issues and to piggyback off of that point, so Republicans do this thing every time something like this happens. They always say, "Oh, well, mental health is such an issue in America. Mental health, mental health, mental health," but they never do anything to actually fix the situation. And what they do is they say it's mental health, but then they don't put any money into mental health. So if mental health is the issue and guns aren't the issue, then you need to fix the issue.
And I'm not going to sit here and lie with you. I am sick and tired of mental health. I'm not even going to sit here and bullshit with you. I'm sick of it being an excuse. And it just is at this point. Like anything else in the world, when something gets popular, it gets abused. Music, my favorite genre, rap is bastardized like shit. Anime, most anime heads know anime's bastardized. Mental health was not a huge thing 15 years ago. Not saying it did not exist. I'm not saying that people just now started having mental problems, but it became a more popular thing. So now it's being bastardized. Like, I'm sick of it all. I'm sick of athletes complaining about their mental health when they do shit. Celebrities in general, when they do stupid shit to put themselves in that situation. I'm sick of people blaming mental health on why they're terrible people. Oh, well, I didn't mean to treat you like shit, but, growing up, I don't give a fuck. I'm tired of people using mental health as a reason for them to act out in a certain way. Like, well, he was bullied, but we need to stop bullying. This wouldn't happen. How about that nigga go kill the bullies and not kids? Yeah. It's funny when you think of it like that, right?
So, the reason why mental health is become, I guess you could say, popular is that it doesn't carry the same stigma it carried back in the day. Like, if you came out and said in the 70s, "Hey, I'm feeling kind of depressed," or "I have anxiety,"
you soft as hell.
Yeah, like you're getting fucking roasted to oblivion. Where they're gonna put you in the fucking mental institution.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And like now we're able to talk about it, but people use it as a scapegoat.
I was about to say, because it's to the point of where niggas can still be soft. Like, that's what I hate. It's like in this world, people think, well, you called me soft and it hurt my feelings. You were soft. Like, all because it hurt your feelings did not make it not true.
Yeah.
Or I look at it like this. The reason why mental health became so popular is because it's hard to disprove it. Mm-hmm. I cannot dictate to you specifically what you're going through in your mind. So it's easy for people to use it as the excuse. Mm-hmm. Like, people can, I've seen celebrities go balling doing this or that, this and that, fuck up one time, and then say, why do you think I was doing that stuff? I'm sad and this or that. But they go back to doing the same exact thing that they just did before, because it's an easy, like, I can't call you out for it without looking like a jackass. So that's why I assumed my role in life. I'm a jackass. I'm calling niggas out. Like, I'm sick of it. Mental health is real, but when you're at where I'm at with it, everybody suffers from mental health. Mm-hmm. We're all sick. Even the smartest, wisest, and even the most woke, even the nicest of people is suffering with it. So for you to try to act like yours is anything different is selfish.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of you're taking from a guy who was bullied and tortured every day of his life in elementary school. And that they never once crossed my mind to take revenge on people who didn't do it. Got my revenge on the people that did it. They ain't killed them, but got my revenge. But that's why I was like, I'm not here for it. When I tell people that part of the story, people be so surprised, like, oh, I didn't know that. When I tell people the story, I'm like, oh, something, oh, you were bullied, this and that. Yeah, it's kind of like I've either worked through it, hit it, or I don't fucking use it as a crutch for my actions now. As an adult, as a grown-up. So that's why I was like, I'm not here for it. I genuinely do not care that he was bullied. From the bottom of my heart.
Oh, it means nothing to me.
I'm about to say it's nothing to me. That boy could have went stone cold mental because of it, and it still means nothing to me from the bottom of my heart. Go get help. Go do this and that.
It sounds bad. If he had went and shot up a high school, or like the high school where he was bullied at,
or go kill his bullies.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, if he went and shot up a high school that he got bullied at, right? I would have let that. It would have been more understandable to me, because that's closer to the issue.
Mm-hmm.
These kids had nothing to do with anything.
You did it. And for me, he did it as part of one of that power thing, too.
Mm.
Of just like, hell, there's a chance these niggas might attack me in high school. There's nothing these kids are going to do. Like, there's just... So, like, that's where I'm at with it. That's another thing coming into it. I'm sick of it. And I'm sick of people with mental health committing crimes. I knew he wasn't white, right? When he came out, like when they killed him. I knew he wasn't white then. But I'm sick of people committing these crimes but not getting punished because they have mental health. Bro, if that nigga killed 20 people, get that nigga in the chair. Because the death penalty is still in your state. Put that boy to sleep. If he's truly mental like that, you're doing him a favor because he's crazy as shit. Like, stop letting them escape punishment. Mm-hmm. And if people started getting punished more, you will see it to be stopped used as an excuse mm-hmm. to do bad behavior.
Well, I think just like the shooting in Buffalo, if they had killed the guy in Buffalo, right, which I think they should have, but if they had killed the guy in Buffalo, I think he would have been seen as a martyr for his crowd. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I just think that sometimes when police go in there and they kill somebody, even though I don't think it's the wrong choice, but at the same time, we know people are going to use this as a vehicle to push their narrative, to push their agenda, and it's just like you can't win and you can't lose.
I do agree with that, and that's why it's like I've thought about this for years. This is something else that I've just thought about in deep context in years. That's why when we get to solution portion, I have key detailed solutions. But in my heart of hearts, get them out of here. Like, it's bad on both fronts. It's your martyr cause. Well, shit, them alive, they could look at them as like, living icons. And as, oh, I'm going to do such and such proud with my actions. Or this or that. So it could backfire in that regard to them being alive. Get them out of here. We don't even know what's on the other side. So in my heart of heart, I believe there's a hell. Send them to hell. So let them start his eternity of hell. Give like there's just, I don't feel like they should be in prison. Like, if them niggas are in jail with niggas that sold weed, like, no. Yeah. Get them out of here. So you touched on it a lot, but media is huge, and this is part of my solution. I think it's time that the media stop talking about this. And I know that this is something else that I've struggled with for a long time.
I don't know about that.
Because it's kind of disrespectful to the dead if you never bring it up. But he's crazy still in Uvalde. Like, this is like a beacon. This is going to jumpstart another one. Like, somebody's seen this and got the idea for it. And I've struggled with it, but I just think if we stop giving it play, people stop thinking they can get famous or become icons off of it. If it just happens, and it happens.
Well, I don't think media has the same effect that you think it does. I don't think that. Now, I do think media can sensationalize issues and make them a bigger issue than they are, right? Mm-hmm. But the problems that we have with gun violence and mass shootings I don't think they're fueled by media. They're fueled by lax gun laws. They're fueled by not addressing the issues in the room, not addressing the true issues with mental health. Because if we made mental health a standard, everyone can get help for it, right? Like we have Medicare for all, mm-hmm. and then there would be no excuse for you to not get the help that you need. So like if
this is my question to you though, mm-hmm. Do you think if somebody was dangerous, truly like them, or Columbine kids or whatever, do you think they would have got help? Even if help was available? This guy, do you think if help was truly available, he would have got
help? Even if it only reduced the shootings by half, is that not better than nothing?
This is where I'm getting at. I don't think it will ever reduce. I think the niggas are going to shoot. They're just not. There's no helping them.
What I'm saying is, before they get to that point, right? Even if they were going to shoot no matter what,
yeah.
But they went in and got some kind of help, then we would have known that, hey, dog, we need to keep an eye on this one.
Hey, here's a prime example. The Virginia Tech one. He went to go get help. They said he was mental as shit. Now, this goes to the lax gun laws. but they should have been on top. They knew he was mental as all hell. Like, to some people, it wasn't even surprised that he did it. Well, that's kind of jarring to say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But that's the perfect example of where you can't. I think blaming it on media is a scapegoat. I'm
not blaming it on media exactly. Like, I'm not saying it's the media's fault that this keeps going on, but I do think just seeing their names is like, oh, he did that. I think. Well, to your point of with mental health, I think not broadcasting it as much and just like going 0 dark 30. I think that limits it because like maybe this is all the movies I watch and this or that. I feel like they think they're gods doing it because they seen it happen. Like just honest to God, like.
But we all know there's websites like 4chan and we have social media. Like even if the traditional news did not cover a mass shooting, we would all still know about it.
Yeah,
we would all still be talking about it. It would all still be a thing.
Yeah, a bunch of crazies on 4chan. I trust not a single nigga that says they on 4chan regularly.
No.
You're
a fucking racist.
That's what I promise you. Oh, y'all was on 4chan.
Racist.
And I literally keeping my eye on you because but you're right. But I also don't think, when I think people going, I think they're going. Now, I do believe that this is the thing, and this gets into that American thing that I hate the most. So what should we do if we know something? We can't just do like, hell, throw that nigga, strap that nigga up and throw him in the bed. Crazy as all hell.
I don't even think you have to do that. I just think if you just limit their access to certain things, like take away the access to to buy a gun. If they already have guns, confiscate their guns.
So this moves into the weird thing. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think the gun laws is the problem. I'm not saying I'm an anti-gun. I'm not saying that I'm the gun law person, but they could just get guns off certain other means. I mean, they could buy it illegally. They could buy it
for sure. But like, if they're going to buy them, what I'm saying is, if they're going to buy them illegally, then they have to. It's one more step for us to catch them. They can just walk into a gun store and buy them.
Which is true. I was about to say, that's why I was like.
I would at least like to make it a little bit hard for them to do this.
I went to the extreme, and so like that's the reason why I'm not against the gun laws. So what would you say, bro? At this point, and I preach for black people in particular. Get guns, get your license, do it like that Buffalo thing. And it was horrendous what happened in Buffalo. But that's why I preach for all my people. Stay strapped, and that way. Finish Buddy off before the cops have a chance to do it. Like, as a society, and we know where we're at. We know that we're mixed in with crazies. We know we mixed in with people who are ready just to kill us for the hell of it. So you can't prevent them from getting guns. And I know you're not directly saying like it's impossible, but you can take the initiative to put yourself in a better position for when it happens. And so I'm just saying, for mine. This is the game. Play the game the way the game is getting played.
And I'm not saying that I disagree with that sentiment. I agree. I'm a gun owner. I plan on buying another gun this year. It's what it is. All I'm saying is, I think I'm pretty moderate on guns. Like I don't think we should ban AR-15s. I don't think we should ban there's certain things that we shouldn't have. I don't think we should have automatic weapons. It's probably not the right choice.
Bro, I ain't gonna sit here and hold you. Like, I get
there's no need for you to have that. So keep it a buck.
No, I get why people, in the grand scheme of things, what if the military tried to do this? And I do get that in the grand scheme, but bro, the niggas who say that the military don't want shit to do with you.
My thing is, you don't understand how tanks work, huh? Because your little automatic weapon ain't gonna do nothing to a fucking tank. And they still gonna come drive to your house.
And that's my main thing of when they say that stuff. And it's just like, yeah, you'll hold on. Yeah, hey, if you're really lucky, you might hold out for 2-3 days. But you are not winning.
Yeah, and like, my thing is like, yes, the idea of the people being armed so that the military cannot become a dictator-ruled society, even though we're already kind of going down that road.
Yep.
That's the idea, of course, but in practice, that really wouldn't fucking work.
Yeah, and that's why I was like, I voted and got to my states on everybody needing guns, but just in general, bro, what's the need for you to? One was the need for you to have a gun collection. I mean, we collect stuff, so I can't be but so mad. But oh yeah, you see, I got this. I could hit that damn thing from 4 miles. Who the hell are you hunting? Like, what niggas are you trying to?
My thing is like I had a problem having someone having a gun collection. Like if that is your thing, right? If you like guns, you like shooting guns, you like having all different kinds of guns. I have no problem with you having all the guns you want to have. If you can afford them, you should be able to buy them. My only issue is when we let people who have histories of domestic violence, histories of mental illness, history of this and that, and we let them walk in and get guns anytime they want, as long as they don't have a felony, depending on what state you live in.
Yeah.
There's a certain you have like I'm all for freedoms, but you have to draw a line somewhere. You can't we can't be living ass out like this.
Yeah, and I get it. It's like, and that's why I was like, I'm not huge on the freedom aspect. I'm just huge on the fuck. Hey, if this is how it is, if this is the Wild West, when in Rome, do what the Romans do. Bro, they strapped to the 9, I'm gonna be strapped to the 10s.
Like I just like me personally have no issue with you having all the guns you want to have. I just don't see the problem with it. But as long as you're a responsible, mentally sane gun owner,
and I believe truly that makes the world a safer place. People like a guy walked into the supermarket and opened fire because he was damn near certain, which he wasn't. He was proven right that people didn't have, like there was no way they could fight back. Would that guy walk in there if he knew that everybody around him also had firearms, and that he was only going to last about 30 seconds? He probably was going to surprise people and knock off about 2 or 3. But if you know, and I'm talking like not assuming that you're strapped. To my point of, I seen one, but how many niggas go run up on the police department? How many people go shoot that up? Go do, because it's over. That this is going down, fast. And so that's where we're going to get to another one of my solutions. If you know that there's somebody with real authority there, or if everybody is whatever, that nips it in the bud. That also goes to my crazy thing. You know how many people that was crazy into taking pills asses I whooped? It became very normal when they got near me. And something's up. How something's up. Crazy people know when they're in danger. And I know that for facts. I don't give a damn what's going on with them. They know when they're in danger. One of my homeboy's cousins had schizophrenia. So he would try to fuck with us and whatever. But his older brother beat the hell out of him one time for putting his hand on their moms. Never had a problem with the older brother. But the older brother came around and he was like the hell out of him. But the point of that story is like I've dealt with crazy people. I've had to put my hands on them. Because there's been times where they act crazy around other people. It's like, oh, hey, D. Yeah, that's what I thought. Like, I'm not with that shit. So they know what fear is. So, like, if everybody's armed, I think we will see less public shootings in general. Because it's not just a school thing. I'm afraid that sometimes at the movie theaters and shit happen. We know niggas did it. He did it at the grocery store. To be fair, it's like anything can happen at any public place.
Yeah, but okay. My thing is, if everybody has a gun, we know there's a lot of hot-headed people out there. D, you're one of them.
Shit, I got a gun now, so I'm still a menace to society with it anyway. So
what I'm saying is, like, if everybody has a gun, there's plenty of hot-headed people. People who are more hot-headed than you. I don't think that would I don't think that would make the incidence of shootings go down.
I think more. How would I put this? Because I consider this a different type of shooting, as opposed to two people got into an argument and it ended different. Like
Sure.
I don't know how to classify the separate. There would be more argumentative shootings. Because there's a bunch now. I just watched a redneck video that went sideways. But I believe just schools will be protected more. I feel like you'll feel more safe at the grocery store. There won't be no movie shootings, X, Y, and Z. Now, I think people will try. I think, If there became a moment where everybody got guns, hell, I believe somebody's gonna try. It's nothing ventured, nothing gained. But when they don't gain too much,
I don't know. I don't think so.
but then you need people who's willing to blast. Cause I am shooting, no questions asked.
But you also think, are people going to be trained enough? People don't know how to drive.
So I'm not saying you just give them guns all willy nilly. I do feel like what I'm saying is you need to go out and get your gun, and I feel like classes should be mandatory with guns, like driving. Like I feel like classes should be mandatory, and everybody should go take classes.
I mean, you don't have to take a class to drive.
Yeah, that's why niggas can't drive now.
I never took a class in prepping well. I think.
Boy, I took them classes, but they fucked up because I took classes 3 years before I went to go get the license. Forgot the class. But I do feel like there should be gun classes, and after that, that's when you get your gun. And I'm advocating everybody go do it. Like, I never understood this thing when parents was like, I don't want a gun in this house. What? You think the gun's gonna send a signal to the nigga to come here? You think the gun got a tracker on it? The nigga can come retrieve the gun? Like, you should never, for me, and this is a God thing that I've been told, I will always want to have cards up my sleeve. I don't want to be asked out if I can prevent.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm a firm believer of keeping the gun in your house. You never know when a man is gonna bust in your shit and try to rob you.
And like, let's be honest, it's a noble thing. I don't want a gun in this house. Until somebody breaks in with a gun of their own, and well, that Slugger 5000 is only doing.
Even if they break in the house with a baseball bat,
it's only so much.
You gonna have a baseball bat off?
Yeah, y'all gonna be fucking Star Wars out there.
And this comes from a guy with a wooden samurai sword in his house.
I do some damage though. And if a nigga came in with a katana on me and I had one on him, let's take this outside. Fun fact that open carry with swords is I think dueling is allowed in Texas with swords.
I don't know if that's true. But I know open carry is, yeah. Because even in North Carolina, you can walk around with a machete on your hip.
Boy,
no repercussions.
I'm about to go get me a little kimono and look like part of the Slayer Corps out this motherfucker. M24-7, is that a fake sword? Got something in half, does it look fake? Did that look fake? Well, damn.
I don't know. I just feel like the argument is always what we need is more good guys with guns, right? If we had more good guys with guns, bad guys with guns couldn't do anything. And as we've seen, when the rubber hits the road, people pussy out. People always think, oh, I can be the hero, I can save the day, I can do this, I can do that. But when the rubber hits the road, when the guns come out, that's when the real bravado comes out. Are you who you say you are?
Yeah.
And I think at least 90% of people aren't who they say they are.
Yep. That goes back to my overwhelming force thing. Yeah. It's weird how many people I feel like vouch for guns who I feel like you're only useful if you have a gun and they don't. You're vouching for guns, but if the plane is equal, you're assed out. You're probably running for your life with a damn gun in hand.
I mean, we saw this with George Zimmerman. Like, George Zimmerman, he was getting fucking washed by it.
Yep. But like, what was he, 15? You got his ass whooped by a teenager.
Yeah, he was in high school.
Yeah.
But he was getting washed. Like, he was getting beat the fuck up. And rightfully so.
Yep.
And the only reason why he won that fight was because he shot him.
And the only reason he truly won is because he let him go. Like, it wasn't like, oh, he was getting his ass whooped and then voila. He went off on his way after whooping his ass and he ran to go get the gun and they confronted him again. Like the biggest pussy in the world. So, guns is fast and loose, and this is leading me to my next point. I think we're in the solution aspect of things. Mm-hmm. I don't want teachers to have carry policy. No. My experience with teachers, niggas ain't worth a damn they own. These teachers having sex with students. God forbid. God forbid.
It's like one bad day.
Yeah, bro,
light this bitch up.
Hey, bro, have you seen these kids? We roasted some of these teachers. They're flaming their asses up. And it's like, it sounds like I'm making jokes, which I kind of am at expense. But like, I'm being so serious.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a joke, but it's serious.
yeah. And so this leads me to my main thing. We need people at the school. Obviously, resource officers ain't worth a damn. Now, I knew they weren't worth a damn, but knowing that they're police officers really verifies for me they're not worth a damn. I believe retired military personnel should be at the school, and I believe there should be like 2 or 3.
I don't know about that either.
Huh?
Number one, a lot of your cops are retired military anyway. So what does that really say about yourself?
But are
Number
those the
two,
ones at the, are they the ones at the damn schools? Are
but,
they?
okay, number two, a lot of military people already kind of off their rocker.
You can tell when somebody's on. Don't do it just to fill the quota. Like, yep, we need 3 of them. Even though you got a skull and crossbones on your face. You were in military. We're gonna let you go because honest God, I know a bunch of ex-military people who just like I'm retired. I don't want to go back, but like I just don't know what to do with my I just want something to do with my days. And maybe I'm talking on my ass to the point where just like have them patrol the school, have signs up letting people know the school is guarded. Whoop de whoop this. Anything will be used with excessive force. Something. And like for me, if there was an ex-military guy, a retired guy in that same resource, I just don't see the situation where the military guy heads for the hills. I just don't. But for the fact that now you just told me that resource officers are cops, shit, it makes sense to me. All cops are bitches. Well, most cops are bitches.
I think all I'm saying is I think the vetting process, the who gets to be the person guarding the school, just needs to be tighter.
True. And I do. It needs to be more than one person too. I never understood why there was like one person at a high school. My high school was huge.
We had 2 in my high school.
I've never seen your high school, but for the fact they had 2, I feel like they could have used 3.
Not really. So like, I'm gonna tell a story about the time we went into a lockdown. There was a guy. So there was a neighborhood behind my school, and it was a guy walking with the guitar case, and they thought it was a gun case. So the school went into lockdown, and we called our resource officer RoboCop, because every time he ran somebody down, it was like fucking RoboCop right now. And RoboCop was out there doing his damn thing, confronted the guy, did all the stuff, and he was like, "I'm just walking on my property, yada yada yada." It was a thing. So I think if you have the right people in those positions, it's not that bad.
Sure.
But you just have to have that vetting process. He also was a real stand-up guy for a cop.
I had a cop at my school, and he did everything. He did the drug bust. We went into lockdown. He's going to every room, trying to tell people it'll be okay, this and that. He's patrolling. I'm like, damn, buddy. You got another pistol on you? You seem safe on you? It seems safer with you than under this damn desk. But,
So I actually used to have a teacher. You can tell that we're fucking Americans. We have to tell them lockdown stories. I had a teacher who so we used to all get into the corner like you're supposed to, right? But she would make us all grab a textbook. She said, if someone busts in this door, we're going to fucking light them up with textbooks.
That's like what I told people. And it's like, this is not me being a hero. Because in this story, if somebody else was to get hit, I would be better than me in my head. But it's like, so if Buddy comes through the door waving at a gun, we can all fold and be open season for him. Bro, throw some stuff in charge of him. Yes, somebody's going to get hit. Not somebody is going to get hit. And I'm not making light of the situation at all. Like, oh, it's for the greater good or this and that. But I'd rather go down fighting, and this has always been my motto. Because even when in my later season, when I got my ass whooped from people from getting jumped from odds that I knew I couldn't beat to people I knew couldn't beat, well, give me a few licks in before I go down. Unless he has a full assault rifle, he's not mowing us all down. So somebody's going to be able to tackle him. And
even if he had a fully automatic rifle, if 19 kids throw 5-pound, 10-pound textbooks at you.
If all the girls are throwing textbooks and the guys rush them, I like our odds regardless if we all rush. I love my odds, and if we're able to
Even
take
if we
them,
just throw the textbooks, I think we're gonna be okay.
and if for some odd miracle we're able to knock them down, I'm talking like, yeah, we got him, we got the shooter down, so that the people are like, if some other classroom can hear it, we can just gang up. And I know I made up this whole story in a fairy tale. Like, yeah, that's what happens when it goes well. I just don't see how, if you're all focused like that, it goes horribly wrong.
Yeah.
It goes wrong.
It can't go any worse than just sitting there.
And then just praying to God that He just lets us go when He wants. So like that's always been my mindset. And the tricky part is that we're talking about it, so it's easy for me to be on guard now. But you're in school, sure. I'm probably asleep half the time, and just we're going into lockdown. Going into lockdown. So somebody broke into a school with a gun. So it's like when it happens, and it happens to you, it will have you all this and that. And to be honest, I guess I'm able to come up with stuff like this in my head because growing up in the hood is like this is stuff that I witnessed. There's people I know that had guns on them that were dangerous, that I had to maneuver correctly or do X, Y, and Z. And it's just like, if it ever can do it, I gotta rush him because I know he got the thing in his pocket. Or is it like if it ever had to go down that way. So and that's why it's like, I don't know, I guess mentally I've just already accepted an outcome. Just might as well try it. Never know.
Yeah.
So that's what
if you're gonna die, you might as well go out fucking swinging.
Yeah.
I just can't.
A school shooting happened, and I don't know where. I can't remember, but I seen it on TV. It was on one MTV show, and they did it. The guy came through the cafeteria, and one guy caught him off guard, rushed him, and so he was so startled and shot him and killed him that it allowed everybody else to kind of take him down. And like just because the one guy startled him so badly, because it's kind of like he had something like I forgot what he had, but something that was a two-hander. And I was like, oh, somebody actually rushed me. Yeah, like all because you're the one with the gun don't mean you're in complete control. And so I think he ended up hitting like 13 people, killed 4. But this was like breakfast time in the cafeteria. It could have been so much worse.
I mean, if you walk in during breakfast time, it's just open season.
Yeah.
Especially, I'm just thinking about my high school.
Yeah.
This is just a big open room, and it's full of hundreds of kids.
Yep. And it's just like, so it's been done. So I think approach to stuff should be different. Goes on teachers not being armed and just, so teachers shouldn't be armed. And these are elementary kids. So I don't expect the elementary kids to do shit at all. But I feel like, especially with younger kids, that's when the numbers of security really needs to be up. Security still needs to be more than one anyway. Mm-hmm. But since it's elementary school, so say like 2 would suffice for the school. Do 3. Like my main thing with the retired military people too is that some people are genuinely looking for jobs. And like some could be creeps, don't give it to them, but like some real good-hearted people, we don't fix it, but we find a solution for some people to get jobs that they're qualified for. Mm-hmm. We achieve something. Like we're not just giving them bullshit jobs. They're protecting children, which we desperately need, which we've known we needed since damn 97, 98. It's like one of those things. I consider it like the Reagan policy. All he did was make parks. Shit was kind of stupid, but it helped build jobs. It helped create jobs to also help the economy. Not saying that my whole plan helps the economy, but it helps a small portion of stuff that this country faces. Retired military people face not knowing what to do with their lives, not having purpose, not finding something that's worth a damn to them. Schools need protection. I think cops could work if they're the right cops. Don't put the cops who are reject cops to go protect the schools, because when shit happens, he's a reject cop. What the hell? Don't put the Paul Blart ass nigga there. Even though Paul Blart did his thing.
Early Paul Blart. Beginning of the movie, not the end.
So those were my big solutions to the incidents. And I felt like that would help prevent more incidents like this.
I don't think it would hurt. I don't think it would prevent it.
I think it would prevent the shooter just going around the school like open season.
I'll give you that.
I was about to say,
I'll give you that, yeah.
Just seeing like the hall monitors of other incidents and just like they're just walking with no care in the world because, well, there is no care. Like, they pretty much own the school at this point. I think that would stop. That's my huge thing of having more than 2 or 3. So for the fact of like, oh, Buddy ran through the fronts. I think the Sandy Hook guy came through the fronts. So I get that. Like, schools are big. My high school had 3 ways to sneak into and sneak out. Because that's how I used to leave when they wouldn't let me come through the front. I just snuck out and snuck back in. So a shooter easily could have done that.
I think we had 1, 2, 3, 4 entrances. Four known entrances, and then we had probably 6 or 7, maybe 8 other ones.
Yeah.
Like, there's plenty of ways to get into that bitch. Now, most of them were locked from the outside in. 4 of them stayed open the whole time.
And most of these shootings come from people who went to the school. So they know. They know this stuff. There's a saying going around. We do all this gun safety stuff. The killers are in the room with you. The killers are in the room learning the stuff. You know, like,
That's true.
the honest to God, like, it's, oh, and there's a device. I forgot what it is, but there's something for the door that allows the door to be locked and nobody can actually unlock it from the outside. I don't know, I forgot what it was, like if it's a rubber band or something metal, but it's something for shootings that, boom, and the killer cannot reach. There's nothing they can do to reach and actually open the door. I don't know, like, it was a huge thing like 6 years ago. Don't know why every school don't have it. But that's it.
I mean, that would definitely do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because, like, it was super innovative. It was something that you couldn't, like, all the force. You can't just kick the door down. That's not going to help your cause.
but the ultimate issue is that we can't really kick a school door in because they could open out. You ever notice that?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They do that on purpose.
Oh, yeah.
But the ultimate issue is, to me, it's just because it's not only just school shootings that's the issue. It's
Movie shootings, grocery store shootings.
just mass shootings in general. Like, you have to, because having people on in places to, but that would just put you more in a police state. You know what I'm saying? If the solution to not having shootings is to have police on every corner in every room, you're just living in a police state. That's a real dystopian future.
Yeah. Yeah, life is fucked.
So, like I said, you just gotta keep the guns away from the crazy people, and actually do it, not just talk about it. Actually be about it. And
I support your theory. Well, 10-year-old me supported that theory. But it's just, I know that as a society we're so far gone. It's not that I don't support it now, but I see the forest for the trees. It's just no way that's happening. As much as us on this side don't want it.
I mean, I don't think I have no real realistic thought that it's actually going to happen.
Yeah.
But that's the obvious solution.
Mm-hmm.
And if I don't say the obvious solution, I can't let that go.
I got you. My solution is based around knowing that the obvious solution is not going to happen. Like, I know that we're not gonna beat the gun nuts and actually get tighter gun control. Like, I feel like they just outweigh us because, well, that involves racist people too. Like people show up for that damn gun control. But what we can do for facts is arm ourselves. Like, that's why, you know what? Since I can't beat the game, since I can't do the right thing and get tighter gun control, fuck it. I'm just gonna play by your loose rules then. That's just, I look at it as like a wrestling match. You know, in wrestling we can't choke. Because the ref is letting you get choked out and put in submission holds. What you gonna do? Keep playing fair? Or you just gonna play the game the way it is now?
I mean,
It's an honorable thing, so I'm gonna wrestle them straight up. I'm gonna do my weight. I'm out to win.
I see what you're saying.
But I can talk about this forever. Everything about it disgusts me every time I see it. And it's mainly because, like, fucking kids, man.
9-year-old kid.
Hey, kids who had their lives ahead of them, kids who enjoyed going to school, that they're going to their basketball teams after this or that. Not only are the families affected of the dead kids, the friends of the kids who knows that they're not coming back. Like this isn't
the classroom next to them. You have to hear gunshots and screaming and all that other shit.
One girl is in the I think psychiatric or maybe ER, but like she covered the blood of her best friend just so the killer would think she was dead. Her friend's body was on top of her and she smeared blood all over her. So they said that sent her into shock, but she also was shots, I want to say like in her back or leg or something. So like she's not in danger of dying, but she went into shock. And it's like, that's literal war. Like, that's what you do in war to stay alive. This 9-year-old girl had to smear her best friend's blood just to get by. Like she will never be the same again. This is bullshit. And it's also bullshit that I hate the most. And like, this is with the gun nuts. And this is why I'm able to not give a damn about other people besides myself. That's human nature. Human nature, the gun nuts only look at it as guns because it's not their loved ones that happen. If it was their loved ones that was in vets, I promise you they would flip quickly. Some people that told me at my job, no, I would just make sure something, yeah, okay. Y'all are the most selfish niggas that I know. If it was y'all's loved ones that did it, y'all be on a mountain trying to take every gun under the sun. It doesn't matter until it happens to you.
I think it would send you either in two extremes. Either you would be like, everybody needs guns. 10-year-olds need guns. 6-year-olds need guns. The teacher needs a gun. Like, you ever seen to that extreme, or no one can have a gun.
I was about to say, and that's what truly pisses me off more about the gun people. We're just like, wait. Gun safety, something. It's easy because it's not you. If it's your people, God forbid, if it's your kids or something, let's see if you're so cavalier about, wait a minute. Gun control is not the solution. Like, fuck out of here. Once again, like with the Buffalo thing, why were, the general public of white people not caring? Huh? Because he went to a black neighborhood, to a black portion of the city and did it. It was a white guy in racially motivated crime. It doesn't matter until it happens to you. Yes.
If he went to a white church and shot it up, it would be a problem.
Yeah.
If he went into a Publix, I don't know what the white equivalent is up there, but
Yeah. And it's like, it crushes my heart because it's like, these are Hispanic kids. Well, my favorite thing, all dark skinned folk is kinfolk. They're still kind of getting treated like the black treatment of. It was bad, but if that was a white high school, they'd be up in arms. Maybe one day there will be something that makes it enough. To me, I've seen enough, but maybe one day there will be something when people have had enough as a society.
It comes down to money. These gun lobbyists give money to politicians to not do nothing. So if you get money out of the game, and the politicians are actually beholden to their constituents, because if something like this happens and you don't get any money from your constituents because you didn't do nothing on the gun rights or you voted against them, you know what I'm saying?
Yep, and now we circled back in the damn crooked government. I'm not saying what you're saying is not crooked, but it goes back into trusting people who actually don't really trust.
I mean, like ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Because like, if the money was not a factor, no one in their right mind would make that choice.
True.
As a politician, like as bad optics.
Yeah.
But the money talks.
Yeah, that money do talk. That's why recently I seen something that if I had a kid, I'd probably do the same. A dad is volunteering his time at a school just to keep it safe. And it was like the person called because the man was just standing out front and she noticed for a couple of days. He just had enough. He said, I'm just going to volunteer X amount of days. I mean, to the cynical people, well, what could he do? And what if something happens when he's not there? That's the people we need. Like, people like that. He can't do much, but he's doing what he can.
Yeah.
Like,
but my thing is it shouldn't be this is just like, for me, this is just like climate change. It should not be on individuals to change the system. The people that we elect to the system should change the system.
Yeah. Yeah, it sucks. And honest to God, it sucks. Me and you are in the same boat, but I'm in the boat of like even still, I see a lot of people who's passive angry. It's on the people to make the change. It is on the politics, but
Well,
you need to get really mad. You need to get really.
my thing is if the politicians aren't doing what you want them to do, get them out of office. Put someone in there who you think's gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't do it, get rid of them.
I was about to say like.
And you have to hold them accountable. Like I know a lot of people think like your vote doesn't matter, your vote doesn't matter. If we all voted as a block, like, hey, you didn't do what we wanted you to do. You're out.
Yep. I'm not even gonna hold you. Seeing Buddy go ham on other Buddy made me think, damn, maybe I should run for politician. I'm not the sharpest in the shed. Well, sharper than most, goddamn it. I am not the most politically correct, but I am a man of the people. I would have done my damnedest, and that's what I will stand on. I promise you that if you support me, your kids will be safe in school. I will do everything in my power to make sure that the kids can be kids. Goddamn it. Yeah, try to do some other stuff. Try to do some good economic shit. But because this is what I thought. Like, even if my solution ain't the solution, but people are just so stuck with these gun rights. Bro, it's not that difficult. People make way too much money to act like there aren't obvious solutions in front of us or easier solutions than just taking guns away. Like, you could do something.
My thing is that 70% of people agree with what I propose.
Mm.
With just a mental health check and passing a background check. 70% of people agree with that. 70%.
And if my vote makes a difference, I know we just talked about, but it's like, since he said like I'm the guy, OD, or you gonna side with? I mean, shit, that's what we doing. Is what we doing. I'm gonna try it out. If it works, it works. If not, it was worth a try.
It's better than not doing anything.
It was worth a try. If that don't work, we go on nuclear. Everybody go ahead and get strapped. And you act out, you get clapped. But yeah, that's my. Politicians get paid so much money to act like there aren't steps to take. There's some steps. Let's not act like it's impossible to find a solution. It's just not impossible. Kind of a double negative, but you get what the fuck I mean.
Yeah, for sure.
Normally I have deep things to say on the outro, but I made my points clear. I would hope in my lifetime I don't see anything like this again. But all you can do is. So,
I mean, realistically, based on the past month, not looking too good for the odds, but
no bullshit, and stuff like this weighs in. Plus my typical disdain for teachers. If I have a child, homeschooling looks pretty homeschooling-ish. Like
I just don't like homeschool just because I feel like you don't develop as a kid.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna send their ass out there in sports. I don't like football. Yeah, I ain't raising no weirdo. Go make some friends.
I feel like if you homeschool your kid's gonna be a school shooter.
I feel like there's ways to do it. Like there's a stigma to homeschooling. It's like most of them are helicopter parents. Watch what you eat. Don't you eat that apple slice. They'll cut your mouth up. Like no, I'm just having them learn from home. And hey, they play baseball outside. I don't want to go. Too bad. I'm on a damn bat and a mitt. Don't you come out. Don't you come back to the street lights. Come on, goddamn. But who knows? Who knows?
Well, I guess.
To my outro point, there's been a lot of public schools. I'm not saying that this is directly factored, but you see private schools don't go through this.
Well,
you know.
You also got to think private schools have, number one, have a way smaller population than public school does.
Oh,
so
yeah.
just odds wise. And then there's a lot less private schools than there are public schools. So just odds wise.
They be strapped in those private schools too.
No.
Well, two that I've been to. I know there's a lot more in America. But they be having Big Bubba Rogers out there as security.
I mean, but they also can hire.
Yeah, they can actually afford.
Yeah. They can hire security, they can hire this, they can hire that. And I mean also you gotta think the people who are going to a private school are in a different kind of tax bracket than us. If they actually are having mental health issues, they can go get mental health help.
Yeah.
Like they're not poor. If you go to a private school, you're more than likely you're rich.
I hear what you're saying. Gotta send my son to private school.
Like I said. In conclusion, this shit's fucked. What can you do about it, really?
Yeah.
Also, we would like to give condolences to one of the teacher's husbands who died of a heart attack about 2 days later.
Oh yeah, he died literally 2 days after. Like, that's wild.
I mean, you hear stories of people dying of a broken heart.
And he dead ass did. And it's just a huge shout out to the teachers. I hate lots of teachers, which that will not stop. But like for the fact that they really put themselves out there for the kids. Like at 18, I didn't know that it lasted for an hour. So 18 kids, or was it 18 people? Either way, less than 20 kids and 2 teachers dead. Like, that like means the world.
Yeah.
To anything. Those damn, as much as I said teachers don't deserve to be strapped, the damn resource officer should have gave them the damn guns. They would have done some shit.
I think they had 4 kids that grow with a mom, no mom yet, or 3 of them do.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's like it's all directed towards. It's like if you would have had dad, you had dad. Damn, dad died because of this. Like you can't say he didn't. Yeah. Rest in peace to them. I hope the kids end up. I hope there's a happy story for the kids. I hope something.
I hope for the rest of the elementary school kids who have to do that, hear all
My
that.
nigga doing 5. I know prison is changing your life. Can't run up on the plug and plies. I'ma order the beef like it's 5 guys. I'm locked in, I got montage. I'm locked in, I got montage.
Enjoy the rest of their lives.